This is San Diego News Daily.
Hello and welcome to San Diego News Daily. I'm Dana Williams. Right now, Caltrans crews have shut down a section of the 5 North near Mission Bay for the entire weekend. The closure runs from Interstate 8 to the Mission Bay Drive on-ramp north of Balboa Avenue. Some on and off ramps in the Old Town and the Marina area will also be closed to limit traffic in the area. It is expected to be reopened by commute time Monday morning. And this is a tough one. It's been nearly a week since 2 people were killed in a multi-car crash on Interstate 8. One of those lives lost was La Mesa police officer Lauren Craven. The 25-year-old officer was killed when she was hit by a car while helping another driver after a different crash. To honor her life, a La Mesa coffee shop hosted a fundraiser and a vigil. Many officers and community members showed up to pay their respects and remember the person she was.
What we've gone through in the last couple days and the loss of Officer Craven has been heartbreaking. Just from the day I pinned the badge on her and the smile that was on her face even in the interviews. She's an amazing person. She's an amazing police officer, so dedicated and loving to this community. The compassion and the empathy that she had is what we're all about. Lauren will never be forgotten, ever. And we look forward to memorializing her all the time to keep her memory alive.
And this is really just the start of that. Officer Craven's funeral service will be held on Tuesday. For the second time this week, police in El Cajon are investigating a hit and run that left people seriously hurt. One happened on Tuesday. A 12-year-old kid was hit crossing mid-block, and the latest incident happened Thursday night at around 10 o'clock. Here's a map. This one happened near Main and Orlando streets by El Cajon Valley High School. We actually obtained surveillance video from a business right next to where it happened. It's hard to see, so we put a circle around the woman walking across the street. Right there in the top left corner, you can see a car approaching, and of course we stopped the video right here, right before she's hit. After the impact, though, you see the car keeps going. A moment later, from another angle, we can see a Good Samaritan running to try to help the woman. Neighbors tell us they want to see more safety measures for people like her.
Someone has to do something, even police or, the city. Maybe put more lights that you can cross the street.
So police did find the car that was involved a short time later in a neighborhood nearby, but they have yet to find the driver. If you know anything about this, Crime Stoppers, they'd like to hear from you. As for the other hit and run in El Cajon, police arrested 35-year-old Danny Corcus. Investigators say they found his SUV in Lakeside with the help of both automated license plate reader data and debris left at the scene. He was arrested on felony hit and run charges and was booked into Central Jail downtown. He's expected in court for the first time on Tuesday. The school year is a busy time for local families, but right now San Diego Unified leaders are taking action to try to get more parents involved in their kids' schooling. Community schools have been hailed as a difference maker in local neighborhoods, and the goal is to tailor school resources to community needs, really allowing students to be more engaged and present when it comes to their work. We spoke with San Diego Unified Superintendent Fabi Bagula about the steps parents can take to support their local community school.
The school belongs to the community. And so decisions that we make, whether they be about how we spend our money or what kind of activities are offered at the school, should be based on decisions that are made together. So there's lots of decision-making committees that exist at a school system that sometimes are not well attended. And so I'm here to invite you to come to our schools to find out when you can join these committees so that you can be a part of those decision makers.
An open invitation there. You can see our entire interview with Dr. Bagula on our website, NBC7.com. A child care provider who watches Navy children in Chula Vista waited months to get paid by the military. And she's not the only person waiting for money. It's money that goes toward rent or groceries or just keeping her business alive. NBC7's Joey Safchik has a look at the human toll of this bureaucratic backlog.
They don't always get a lot of credit. But there are a lot of people who provide vital services to our country's service members, among them Jenna Richardson.
They don't know who's here to help them. They don't know anybody, and I know what that feels like. So I think it's just been my heart.
She cares almost exclusively for Navy babies at her in-home daycare, Wild and Free, in Chula Vista. But recently, she's worried about having to work for free.
I don't want to stop seeing the Navy babies. I enjoy them. I enjoy the relationship I have with their parents.
Her Colorful Care Center is part of the Military Child Care in Your Neighborhood, or MCCYN, program. It helps military families afford child care. Richardson only charges her families a copay up front, and then the military pays her the rest, typically within a few days of filing a claim. But recently, it hasn't been within a few days, or even a few weeks. It's taken months.
You couldn't have paid me to think this would be my life 2 years ago. I don't know. I don't know what to do with it.
When her payouts come late, she says, it puts her in a tight spot, and she's not alone. Kayla Corbett is the CEO of Operation Child Care Project, a nonprofit dedicated to helping military families navigate child care options. She says the backlog has hit Navy and Coast Guard providers especially hard, and working through the bureaucracy has not been easy as 123.
They actually asked families not to even contact them until at least 45 business days had gone by past when they should anticipate those payments.
Child care providers have waited months to see how this will play out, but now there's concern that the government shutdown is only going to make it take longer.
Really just unfair for all of us child care providers.
Now, some families are worried about not being able to pay their part. Representative Sarah Jacobs sits on the House Armed Services Committee, and child care is one of her signature issues. We asked about the backlog, which she blamed in part on DOJ firings.
I am really concerned that all of the work that we've done to try and address the childcare crisis for military families is being undone because of the sheer incompetence of this administration.
We've made several attempts this week to get in touch via phone, email, and text with the Department of Defense for comment, but our questions weren't answered in time for this report. Meanwhile, Richardson is worried about what happens if she can't pay her rent.
I don't have a daycare and I don't have a home.
And while there is a childcare shortage for military families, there's no incentive for providers like Richardson to stay in the program.
So I think it's just been my heart that has kept me in it.
She hopes to keep it that way, knowing she could be playing a part in raising the next generation of sailors or Marines. Joey Safchik, NBC 7.
Our NBC 7 meteorologist Brooke Martell will have a look at your weather right after this.
NBC 7 and Telemundo 20. Weather coverage you count on. You count on accuracy.
The winds are going to be increasing.
You count on these experts.
Take a look here at our future weather.
In 2 languages.
Más de 3 pulgadas de precipitación.
You count on innovative tech.
You look at our first alert Doppler radar.
From a team you depend on.
Dry conditions to round out this week.
You count on early warnings.
Because we had pretty significant rain.
Because you know every second counts.
It just kept getting worse and worse.
This is First Alert Weather. This is coverage you count on. Only on NBC 7 and Telemundo 20.
Taking a look at the details for your first alert forecast. What you need to know for this weekend, you could see cooler temperatures this morning, dress in layers. By this afternoon, it should be pretty nice. Clouds and sunshine, pretty mild. And by tonight, cooling down, just bring that extra layer if you plan on being out and about. But here's a look at what's going on, because we do have this low pressure system to our north that typically creates cooler weather, cloudier conditions, brings rain chances, which we're seeing over the Pacific Northwest. But some of that funneling towards San Diego County in the form of just slightly cooler temperatures for some areas and the overcast skies. If you're heading to the pumpkin patch today in Carlsbad, this is what you can expect this morning. Really nice and comfortable temperatures, mid 60s by this afternoon. More of the same as we reach those low 70s. Same thing goes for tomorrow. And if you're getting in the spooky season this weekend, this is a look at your forecast this morning and into this afternoon for the coastline. Max daytime highs from the low 70s up to about the upper 70s by this afternoon for those inland valley communities. We'll have some 70s in the mix for the mountains, desert region, right around those low 90s. Taking a look at the rest of the county, we have 67 for Encinitas today, 78 for Poway, 83 for Ramona. So we're warming up a little bit more there. We have upper 60s for Chula Vista, and again, 92 over the desert region for Borrego Springs. By tonight, the overnight forecast, you can see we really cool down, especially as we get into those higher elevations. I'm talking the possibility of 30s and 40s, which we have been seeing over the past couple of weeks during that time frame. Upper 50s for Borrego Springs. We get those 50s for the mountains, for the coastline for our valleys as well. So here's a look at that setup. We do have this high pressure that's continuing to move east, bringing those mild conditions, but again, that low to our north, cooling us down just a bit. What's coming up for this upcoming week, though, is going to be heat because of this high pressure that will start to build over the west. And I'm talking temperatures above their seasonal averages that could potentially reach the 80s and 90s. And it looks like the warmest days of the week, starting with the coastline, will be right around Wednesday into Thursday, maybe even Tuesday. We can group that day in there as well. That also goes for the Inland Valley communities. By Halloween, we drop off just a little bit, and that's a trend that takes us into next weekend. But we should have some really nice, comfortable conditions for trick-or-treaters by Halloween night. For the mountain communities, you see that same influence right around midweek is when those temperatures peak. Same thing goes for the desert region. Dana, I'll send it back over.
Brooke, thanks so much. Thanks to a recent agreement, a local nonprofit, the county, and the Padres will keep bringing smiles to families for years. Miracle Field at San Dieguito County Park is getting an upgrade. The County Board of Supervisors approved a resolution this week renaming the field to Padres Park. It's part of a 15-year naming rights agreement with the Padres. The field is also getting upgrades to meet current ADA standards. The Miracle League, a nonprofit baseball league for kids and adults with disabilities, has been playing there for almost 2 decades.
When I got there, I was super excited. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna be playing out there and having fun." Oh my God, yeah, it kind of changed my whole life.
Oh, proudly in his Padres shirt. You just love to hear that. The project is expected to cost around $850,000. The Miracle League raised around 2/3 of that. The rest will come from the county parks and rec budget. Construction is slated for December, and the field is expected to open by February and welcome some really excited players there, of course. And as always, there's more coverage you can count on at NBC7.com, and you can always find us on your Roku or your Samsung Smart TV app. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Dana Williams.